Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I'm Jeff Howard, and I have filmmaker Charlie Paulin with me on Zoom. Hey, Charlie.
Hello.
Good to meet you officially.
Yes.
You are on the podcast because you wrote and directed the short film Outed, which was at the Sherman Oaks Film Festival in December of 2025. Wonderful comedy, just so funny. I watched it again today.
Thank you.
And I have to say, it's just so well written and so smart and funny that there are still lines that no matter how many times I've heard them, I laugh. And I'll just give you, it's not a spoiler if I just share with you that I think what I laugh hardest is the analogy that involves ketamine and Xanax.
Thank you.
It's just such good writing, and it's wonderfully directed. It's a great film. And you took home at the Sherman Oaks Film Festival the Filmmakers Award for Outstanding Originality in a short film comedy. So your originality and uniqueness was acknowledged by our awards jury. And by the way, the Filmmakers Award, if you didn't know, that's the one from our Filmmakers Board, which is basically, it could be called the Alumni Board, but it's just a board of all alumni. So it's your peers, active filmmakers, granting you the award for originality. And
I love it. I was very excited about it. Thank you.
Yeah, and Outed deserved it. So wonderful. And Outed is available for people to watch.
Yes, yeah, it's on Short Frame, which is a YouTube channel. Great curation of short films based in the UK. They have a lot of queer shorts, genre shorts. And it found a great home. So we're really happy to be amongst their lineup.
That's wonderful. I gotta admit, I'm always happier to hear that someone is part of, releasing on YouTube makes perfect sense. But if someone just releases it themselves versus having it be part of an aggregator that sort of screens for quality, right? Then
yeah,
that quality control will hopefully get a lot more eyeballs on it.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, Short Frame, they have tens of thousands of subscribers. I don't have any presence on YouTube, or Vimeo or anything. So it's nice to have. Yeah, it feels very thoughtful and curated, and it's really exciting, and it fits in with what's already up on their channel.
Oh, that's so great. That's so great to hear. All right, well, podcast listeners, that will be a clickable link in the show notes. I will get the link from Charlie, and we'll make sure that you can watch it. And heck, you could even pause the podcast, watch it, and then listen to the rest. But I don't even think you can. So I'm about to ask you what got you into filmmaking, and were you always a creative person? Were you a creative kid? Because I have a hunch the person who made Outed was writing stories long before they knew about writing and screenwriting and directing and whatnot. I make that assumption, and you could prove me wrong, but I don't think so. Anyway, when we get to that part of your story without it, I will follow your lead on the spoiler front.
Perfect.
But in the meantime, there you go. That's the opening question, really. When did you catch the bug that you knew you wanted to be a filmmaker, or headed you on that path?
Yeah, I truly don't remember. I think as long as I've been alive, I've liked it. I'm the youngest of three boys. By a good, my brothers are 7 and 10 years older than I am. So I was introduced to a lot of things that I maybe shouldn't have been introduced to when I was a kid. South Park, The Simpsons. I remember watching Goldmember at a very young age. Yeah, you can see I've got a lot of Simpsons
but there's a
stuff.
Simpsons diorama behind you that,
Yes, there's
since we're on Zoom, I pointed at it like a goofball.
Um, I remember seeing Austin Powers Goldmember when I was really young and thinking like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Which is so funny because it's pretty tame by today's standards, even the standards back then. But I also love Beyonce. That kind of started that obsession as well. Um, but yeah, I mean, as long as I can remember, I think I had a babysitter show me The Wizard of Oz, and I was like, this is the coolest movie I've ever seen. Um, And then from there, I grew up in LA. My parents do not work in film, but we, know people who did. So I'm lucky that my parents were very encouraging. They always saw it as a viable career, not like a pipe dream or anything. Um, so I did plays and musicals after school, starting in elementary school. I liked to act. I don't like to act and perform as much anymore. Um, but I did improv and did theater throughout high school. And then I really got into The Simpsons when I was around 12. Um, and when I was, I don't know, maybe 13 or 14, I was lucky enough to go to a Simpsons table read. And on the Fox lot with, all the writers are there, the cast is there. And they're sitting around a table and they're reading the episode for the first time and they're laughing and they're marking up notes. And that's when I was like, oh my God, I want to write. Seeing that room of people collaborating, coming together, laughing, making things better. That was that was a huge thing for me. The episode of The Simpsons was called The Food Wife. It's from season 23. It's a great episode. Marge and Lisa and Bart become food critics and start a blog, and Homer gets jealous that he's left out. And I would just read that script over and over and over again, and it's signed by some of the cast and Matt Groening and David Silverman. It's like my prized possession. During the fires last year,
Yeah, if
my
you had to evacuate, that goes with you.
that was like the thing that I was like, okay, this needs to, yeah, that was the thing that we go back in the house and grab. Um,
We share a lot. I grew up in LA in a non-entertainment industry family as well, and I've had to evacuate as from fires as well. So
yeah,
I totally get you.
I've been meaning to buy a fireproof safe that I can just keep it in. Um, and I should do that, but they're expensive. But I
Yeah,
would,
man,
yeah,
you still
read.
wonder if it can protect paper if it gets hot enough.
Yeah, I think, because I think people usually buy them for, documents and birth certificates and whatnot. And they end up kind of getting toasted. Um, so I
Yeah,
just got to keep it on me at all times,
I'm with you.
tape it to
That's
my
smart.
chest. Um, but yeah, I literally studied that script like everything I should have been doing for school, I did, I studied the script like I should have been studying history or English or whatever. Um, and from there, I taught myself script formatting and I would write in Pages, and then format it to match the script, not knowing like Final Draft was a thing. And there are programs that do it automatically where you don't have to type character names out in full every time. And so the first thing I like wrote as a script was a Simpsons episode. I think I was, yeah, 13 or 14. It was about Homer and Moe getting in a fight. And I don't know where that is. I should find that document somewhere. Um, but that really, yeah, started the, that's when I realized, okay, writing is the thing I want to do in film and
Right.
television.
Right.
I
Because
was
you had done some performing and some school plays and whatnot, but then when you
Mhm.
sat down and wrote something, it just really felt right for you.
Yeah, that was the most fun. I loved playing with toys when I was a kid, action figures, and making my own stories with these characters. And I feel like that is what writing feel like. The joy I got from playing as a kid is kind of how I feel writing. You're just, you have these characters and giving them wants and backstories and goals is yeah, it's just the best.
And I can't help but ask this question because I have a dear friend who is very into birth order, and I've realized it matters. But as the youngest of three boys, did you get all end up with all the creativity? Because I'm the youngest, and I feel like the youngest often gets the job of entertainer.
hmm I think, yeah, I think I like growing up being the youngest by, a good number of years, you're just gonna be, people are gonna fawn over you and be enamored with
Yeah,
you
and you
growing
can't be the
up.
best athlete, and you can't be smarter than them because they're
No,
and so. But if you make them laugh, you don't get beat up.
exactly. Yeah. My oldest brother is a musician. Um, he's creative. My middle brother is not. Um, he's a business guy. Um, but I think I've pursued it, yeah, more than they have.
Yeah, yeah. So that's and that was middle school. You wrote that script, you said, or was it
Yeah, I
high
would have been
school?
in eighth grade.
Eighth grade. There we go. And then and then did you just keep writing more? When did you in high school did it just continue to flourish?
Yeah, so in early high school, I was like, I want to be a journalist. That was kind of the writing that I was interested in. And then I realized I don't really, that's not for me. Love journalists, respect journalism. We need journalism. I was not good at it. And good journalism comes from people who enjoy doing it, and I did not. Um, So then, yeah, freshman year and then beginning of sophomore year of high school, I was like journalism focus, like that's my extracurricular thing. And then I started doing theater my sophomore year of high school, the second half of it. Um, and I was assistant director, so it was kind of like I was on the crew side of things, but I got to be with the cast, and I really liked that and I got to shadow the director and be with all my friends who were in the cast. And then once I got to my junior year of high school is when I started acting in the plays, and then I kind of went back and forth between assistant directing and acting. Um, and that's then when I left the newspaper after my junior year of high school. And then senior year is really when I started like that's when I first saw Broad City, and that was pretty monumental for me. Like, oh, these are just two friends who wrote this web show that turned into a series, and they're having these silly adventures. That's what it really seemed attainable, like that dream and vision. Um, And so then I started writing from there. My best friend in high school, we went to different high schools, but we were neighbors. Her name's Tania, and she and I would always like think we were the funniest people ever and like do the weirdest, craziest stuff. And we were like, we should write a pilot based on our lives. And so we did. Um, and yeah, that from there just took off.
Fantastic. So then when the decision came for college, were you what were you dedicated to that kind of major, or did you have a practical side too?
No, I was pretty dedicated to film. I went to Emerson College in Boston, um, majored in uh, visual and media arts is what they call their
I
kind of
I'm
film
going to risk interrupting. I try not to interrupt, but I just want to I'm giving Charlie a golf clap
program.
because I didn't leave California for college, and then one of my best friend, my Tinia, but his name was Sujay,
Mhm.
Sujay at Tufts, and then when I visited him at Tufts, I realized, oh my God, everyone should go to college in Boston.
Yeah, it is the
And most
best.
LA kids just don't even consider leaving California. And so every time an LA kid goes to Boston for college, I'm just so happy because it's just such a great different experience than you get out here.
Yeah, I knew I would end up back in LA, so I was like, let's get different, let's be different these 4 years. And Boston was very different. Um, I yeah, it's very, very different from LA, but I'm really happy that I had that
Very different, but I
experience.
mean it's the ultimate college town
It
because
is.
like in LA, all the high school kids go to Westwood to get a little taste of it. And I'm like, imagine if Westwood had 15 more colleges within 10 miles, you
Yeah,
know?
and there's like a subway connecting all of them. And yeah, it is. I'm happy that I was in Boston when I was in Boston. It was a great experience.
And you could come back.
Yes, yeah, direct flight. Um, I like thinking it back to it. I would do that flight like 5 times a year back and forth, and I don't know how I did it.
You got, well, at that age, jet lag's not so bad, right?
No, jet lag and also just like your back, you can sit in an airplane seat for a long time. I had a wedding in Massachusetts in October and my back went out the day after I landed and got home and I was like, this didn't used to happen. My back didn't used to spasm when I
Yeah,
would
no, when we're
sit
younger,
on
you
a
can take a
plane.
red eye and just function the next day.
Yeah.
Now, if you take a, well, I'm much older than you, probably, and now a red eye kills me for like 2, 3 days. Like I just,
Yeah.
it's not even a possibility.
No, I can't do it. Um,
Yeah. But so Emerson was a fantastic experience and what was it like? Did you take, continue with the writing and other things?
Continued with the writing. My best friend Hayden from college, who edited Outed, I met the day I moved in. Um, a lot of people that I share my scripts with to get feedback on, I went to Emerson with. Um, yeah, it was. I don't know where else I would have gone. Um, I got a great education. I had great teachers. Uh, I loved it. Yeah.
And was there some where I apologize, I forget the exact major,
Mhm.
but was there also some film production involved? Did you get your
Yeah,
hands on
so
cameras?
visual media arts is kind of the like umbrella term for you can do production within that, you can do writing. I did more writing. I had an intro class my freshman year where you would like actually make things, and then I took a film 16 millimeter film class and shot on a Bolex and Hayden would figure out I would be like, I don't know how to do the light meter and he'd be like, oh my God, I've shown you this like 20 times because he took it the semester before. So he would help me with that. And then I really did stick more to the writing classes when I was in college. I didn't do as much production as I wish I had in hindsight.
But you were obviously that was what was most important to you.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I assume your writing flourished by focusing on it.
Yeah, I really do. Yeah, my output in college was like, I miss those days when that was the homework and the thing that I had to do. It was really fun.
And you could take a 30 page or even a 90-page script and manage to do a rewrite in like one night without like the attention. People criticize attention spans for young people, but if you're interested and young, there's no limit to what you can get done, right?
Yeah, and I still feel like when I get in that zone now, it's the best. But it's harder to cultivate now because responsibilities and jobs and distractions. I You definitely take it for granted when you're young and can't, there's nothing when your biggest responsibility is like
Yeah,
going to
well,
the post
someone is still
office.
covering for most of us, not everyone, but for many of us, you still don't have to worry about feeding yourself and having shelter.
Right.
And when you have to feed yourself and cover shelter, all of a sudden,
There's like so much less time in the day.
a lot less time. But did anything you write in college, were you handing off scripts to people to shoot or anything? Did that happen at Emerson?
Hayden and I would do a lot on our own, which was really fun. There was the 48-hour film festival at Emerson, and I know a lot of colleges and cities do this as well. So we had a group of friends that would do that every semester, um, and that was always a great time. But otherwise, I mean, we would do stuff in classes. I don't feel like I shot as much in college though now.
Okay, so it sounds like that means you did once you got out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Outed was like the first thing. I was always very ambitious and I was like, I want to do stuff. And I think I had things that were a little too ambitious. Like I always wanted to be like, let's shoot a pilot. And it's like, okay, well maybe we shoot a short before we shoot a pilot of anything. Um, and I think I that always kind of got in my way of like having these big ideas and then not doing them because I didn't know where to even begin. And so Outed was like, okay, I'm going to assemble a team of people that I've met in college and high school in the professional world and really like try to make something um great and professional and what ambitious but still one location for the most part, limited cast,
Yeah.
all that.
And yet by also, I hadn't used the term yet, and you didn't credit yourself as a producer, at least on the film, but
Mhm.
that was some very producery thoughts, right? You by choosing a single location and just a few actors,
Mhm.
but then you were able to get super creative within that framework and make the most of it and know that it could be accomplished versus, if you'd written something that involved seven locations and
Absolutely. I started writing out it, so I came out after college. Um, and I sort of started writing outed as a way to just process things during COVID. And so I started writing it in 2021. And it was always I worked production out of college up in through 2021. And I really like dove headfirst into my first job out of college and kind of wasn't writing as much as I was when I was in college. And then COVID happened and
So
everything. And
actually, I'm sorry to interrupt again, but so
Mhm.
so you actually graduated with that degree in media arts and then actually got the career you were aiming for. You actually got a job in production.
Yeah, so I worked in animation production. I worked for Bento Box Entertainment, which does Bob's Burgers. I worked on a show called Duncanville. I have the Duncan plush right here. It's sadly no longer with us, but it was an Amy Poehler show and Mike Scully who ran The Simpsons for seasons 9 through 12 and was a writer and still is a writer producer on it. Um, that was
That's
the first
amazing that you got to
show.
work in animation, considering your origin story.
Yes, definitely. And with that show specifically, like The Simpsons and Broad City were like my two big North Stars. And Amy Poehler produced Broad City and Mike Scully produced The Simpsons, so it really did feel kismet. And then I worked on a show called The Prince, which was a Gary Janetti show. It was about the royal family, which was really funny, also tragically short-lived. And then I worked on Crapopolis for at the very beginning of the when that show was still in development, which is still on Fox.
Excellent, excellent. And then COVID comes along, and
Mhm.
the free time that you were saying one doesn't have, all of a sudden you had some free time to
Yes,
block
yeah.
out.
And it was really nice. I mean, it wasn't nice. Nothing about COVID was nice, but working in animation was nice because it was the only thing still happening during COVID. So I was employed throughout the pandemic working in animation and then yeah, getting that free time back. And I left Bento Box in December of 2021 and I went to work for a writer, producer, Aaron Colite, who it was the Spiderwick Chronicles was the TV show. It was originally at Disney Plus, and then it became a tax write-off, and it's now on the Roku channel. So I was in the writer's room for that, and that room was 2022. Um, and so that's when I really learned, especially working under Aaron, who's the best. He's an incredible writer, an incredible showrunner and producer, and he's very thoughtful about like locations and what actors are in which episode and utilizing the right people. I learned so much in that room. And then Outed was always kind of the thing that I would go back to. Um, I would work on it and then I would kind of stop and write a pilot or whatever else. And so I applied the knowledge that I got from Spiderwick into Outed, and I think that was like, the script was really ambitious. The early drafts were like 20 pages, and there was like more dream sequences and fantasy stuff, and it was just more characters, things that would have involved CGI, and just like, these really big ideas, which are great, but I just wanted to make something that felt approachable to actually shoot.
Yeah, you knew for sure you'd be shooting live action, obviously.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Even though uh, you probably have heard this from friends and whatnot that now I totally get why the production design and the visionary. I mean, Outed does feel like it is a vision and it has such a unique look, and I wanted to praise the unique look, and now I understand that it certainly has a slight animation inspiration
definitely. Yeah.
because it has. I love when someone can accomplish making something look kind of unreal and then that feels real within the new world you just created.
Yes. Thank you. Um, yeah, the script always, especially when I was working in animation and showing people the script before I moved over to Spiderwick and live action production writing stuff, people kind of assumed that it was going to be animation. And then I think showing people the script, they were, like, okay, yeah, this is funny, this is cool. It is very outlandish and silly. Like, how are we gonna buy into this world? And that's when I would say, okay, well, we're thinking of casting a drag queen as the mom. And they're like, oh, okay, that works for this script. And, as soon as you see her, the amazing James Mansfield, you buy into the world.
Absolutely, yeah, it really does just lock it in
Mhm.
and uh and sets up both the comedy and the drama really of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you have the script with you for a while? With it sounds like there was quite a few rewrites and whatnot as you adjusted both to make it more logistical, but also I'm assuming for your creative vision.
Yeah, there were a lot of iterations. I think the thing that I was really held up on for a long time, the Beefy character played by Mr. Teddy Bear, was was originally written as to be Anderson Cooper, and Carter, the main character, sees him on the news and kind of falls into that trance. And I wanted to do like an Anderson Cooper deep fake and like just make it really crazy. And then when the strikes happened in 2023 and I kind of educated myself on what a deep fake was, I was like, "Oh, this is a bad idea. This is
Although parody is different, right? But yes,
totally
yeah, parody is they weren't fighting against parody. They were fighting
no,
against AI use in other ways. But I get it. Like it would have heck, there would have been festivals that wouldn't touch it if you'd done
totally."
that.
And I just was like, and it was also this wall that I'd created where I was like, "Well, I don't know how to do a deep fake, but we'll figure it out." And I just could not get over that wall. And then once I was like, just make it an original character, and I was like, oh yeah, that is funnier, not creepy. You buy in, it's just more creative.
And let's be honest, in general, imagery in American advertising
Mhm,
often strikes pubescent people. The
totally.
sexuality in it often inspires. I mean, I do I have to finish the sentence?
No, I we got to
Pubescent
have
kids are always into ads.
yeah, we got to have so much fun with what I loved about that too is that like, there's the greater like outed story between the mother and the son, and then we also got to shoot the commercial. So it feels like a short within a short almost. Um, and the approach to directing both of those was very different in the lighting and everything. Um, so it just was way more creative and fun to go about it that way.
It was, and it even allowed you to do a little bit of social commentary on how we advertise things.
Yes.
Not lost on your viewers, I'm sure.
No, no.
And well, I was gonna joke that as someone with a lot of chest hair himself, I really appreciate the amount of chest hair in the ad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot.
Because in
It's
my day we had Magnum PI and you didn't have to be ashamed of it. Nowadays everyone's supposed to be hairless, and I'm like, God,
yeah,
that's not
everyone's
fair.
no, I know. I wanted it to be really aggressively masculine and Tom of Finlandy. Um, and we got that. Mr. Teddy Bear is awesome. He has an incredible TikTok account. Um, and he showcases his body hair and it's very good.
Excellent, excellent. So once you have the script ready, it sounds like you had the friends and associates to make it happen pretty efficiently. Was it a quick shoot?
Yeah, we shot in June of 2024 over 2 consecutive weekends. So it was 3.5 days.
Which is always, oh man, whenever a film is made over 2 weekends, when there's a whether or multiple weekends with a break in between, I always
Hmm.
feel like they turn out better because you get that week off in between to like think more about what you're doing
Absolutely.
and do some quick rewrites and some shuffling around and whatnot.
Yeah.
Way better than if you got to get it all in one day and then like, oh, I wish I would have done this or that.
Yeah, the first weekend we shot like the big spoiler. Go watch the short if you haven't yet. Um, the first weekend we did the first shot of the blood shooting up on Carter's face, and it was not reading. There was not enough blood. We were very tame. We didn't want to get the house messy. Um, and so then I was looking through the footage the first weekend and I was like, we need to redo this. It's not good, or it's not as good as it could be. And then we went, yeah, pretty crazy with the blood.
Yeah, well, because you were doing comedy.
Yeah.
And comedy, if you have blood in a comedy, it's got to be sarcastic volumes.
Yes, it had to be like an itchy and scratchy level. You know, that's how much blood comes out of his little finger. Um, yeah, it needed to be the moment of the short.
Wonderful. So you got to redo that and then and then comes post-production. Well, but
Hmm.
by the way, to have it look the way it looks, both the commercial and where your main characters live, did you find did you have to create those sets or did you find locations that were perfect? Because it just looks so honestly, now because I've met you
Hmm.
officially, like I almost feel like that kitchen set is almost a diorama for these characters to play in.
Yeah, it was a family's house, so it was a familiar location that I'd
Yeah.
you
But it
know,
had that look because it kind of
yeah.
looks very, I don't know, it's got a unique look.
Yeah, we didn't really touch we put like the little baby photos of Carter, which all the baby photos are of me actually, um, not of Jason who plays Carter. We sprinkled those around and like any character specific things, but the location was pretty much as it was in the garage. Um, where we shot the commercial is the garage of that house.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, and then
Excellent.
the final scene when Carter's in his own apartment, that was my old apartment.
Got it. Excellent. And then post went pretty well.
Post did. We really figured a lot out in post. So the original script did not have narration. It actually started with the commercial, and then Carter was watching the commercial, and the mom comes in, and everything goes from there. And it just was, it was probably like 12 minutes long when it was formatted that way, and there was a much more extended dream sequence. And then we realized Gracie Garcia, who produced it and is one of my best friends from middle school and high school, she pushed the idea of narration, and I was kind of reluctant at first. And then I came around on it, and it really just tied up the short in a great way. And I think like formatting it where he's telling the fireman at the end, it's a great character detail of like, okay, this is just a rambling kid who's nervous, and this is his ramblings, retelling this really, oversharing this traumatic personal story with someone he's just met. Looking at it from that perspective, which was Gracie's idea, uh, really, yeah, opened things. It was really fun to kind of find find having all this footage that we shot. Excuse me. We didn't reshoot anything. Um, so just kind of assembling it, seeing how something can be shot one way and delivered another way was really a great lesson in filmmaking. Um,
Yeah, in
Found
fact,
that to be.
it is always it's kind of amazing, right? When you decide to do something like narration, and all of a sudden every shot you have of an actor listening to another actor, like if you've turned the camera around, you can put any dialogue you want over that.
Yes, yes. And it really is such a personal journey for Carter. There's so much nuance behind every like action he's taking and decision he's making. So it was fun to kind of get behind his thought process and highlight that. Also because it was just another avenue for comedy. He's, this man child who lives with his mom and his justification for why he does the things that he does is funny.
Yeah, and I was going to use the word personal if you didn't, because there is something really special about a narrator. Um, in a lot of ways, I always feel like a narrator makes cinema feel more literary,
Hmm.
because when you read a
Definitely.
book, you're inside someone's head,
Yes.
and as soon as we hear Carter speaking to us, we just feel closer to that character.
Yeah, we got so lucky with Jason, who plays Carter, Jason Grobstich. Um, he was just the perfect Carter, is the perfect Carter. Um, and he just, yeah, the moment you see him eating the pancakes in his red pajamas, yeah, you just love him.
It is actually very cool how, I mean, you referred to the character as a man child, and yeah, he is boyish, and or yeah, he's sort of in a fun little imaginary zone.
Yeah, he is so age ambiguous.
Yeah.
In
And
reality, he's a month older than me.
right,
And
and of course it feels like both dependent on mom, but also feeling like mom wouldn't want to be alone, because there's a lot of talk about the father who took
yes.
off and another man to abandon. He doesn't want to be another man to abandon her. So there's a lot of depth to the story and the characters.
Hmm.
And again, and that would have been really hard to accomplish without narration.
Yeah, it didn't feel complete without it. And I was kind of married to the scripted version just because I'd lived with it for so long and had it in my head as that. And killing your darlings is really like such an important lesson to learn. And in the end, it just makes things better, or it did in this case. Um, and it's still something I struggle with in writing. And oftentimes when I'm hung up on something, it's because I'm attached to an idea that is just not fitting into whatever it is I'm trying to execute.
It is what every screenwriting professor or teacher tell. Screenwriting is killing off your children.
Yes, and it's like however many times you learn it or hear it, you still don't learn
Yeah.
it.
Although there's always those occasions where you stand your ground and it pays off too. So it is.
Absolutely. There was in post-production, there was talk of some people were like, well, why is James Mansfield is a drag queen, but she's not playing a drag queen in the short. She's playing a mother. And there was some confusion of like, well, why is his mom a drag queen? And we're like, no, his mom's not a drag queen. It's Divine in Hairspray. This is a woman, played by a drag queen in our reality, but in this reality, this is a woman. Um, and so that's why we open with that baby photo of her having just given birth, so
Yeah.
people know, like, okay, this child came out of her.
And you set the tone by making sure that photo was not well photoshopped, right?
No,
You chose
yeah.
bad Photoshop on purpose because that completely sets the tone right there.
Yes, it's campy and stupid and that is me as a baby and my mom or her arms with James's head on top. Yeah, we wanted like yeah, kind of chunky Photoshop and like James in full glam, like hair coiffed beautifully. Um
Well, and like you
to
said,
open
you
that.
you've got, you've got James playing mom, and
Mhm.
you've got someone your age playing an age ambiguous young man. Like it's just you. I mean, I get it. You have an animation background. It was complete world building. You created a world with your own rules. In fact, your own rules where I won't spoil it, but like Carter does stuff at the very end that's so cringy.
Yes, yeah.
And it works and is funny because you've set that tone, and we know that, you know, the the fireman was cool with Carter.
Some light sexual harassment.
Like, yeah, yeah, if someone's pubescent, we give them a break, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No one knows how to flirt. My joke is I didn't really learn how to flirt till I didn't need to know how to flirt anymore, right? But
Yeah,
the first
exactly.
time you figure out how to properly flirt, you get stuck partnered up. Well, that's a very cynical way to say it, but you get the gift of being partnered, and all of a sudden, I've got a partner, and I
Yeah.
finally figured out how to flirt. I just
It's very
revealed a little
true.
too much. Well, excellent. Well, then you wrapped it up, and was this your first festival run?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you were aware of the festival circuit, but you
hmm
had actually there was no student film or anything that you did festival stuff with?
No, this was with my first, yeah, go around with it. We applied to, it's funny too, Film Freeway is an incredible website. It really, it does a great job of putting festivals in front of you that you'd not heard of. And I think we applied to 85 or something festivals. Um, we played at seven and were finalists, or seven or eight, and were finalists in two. Um, so it was a great run. I mean, it was kind of like everything I'd read during the process was like, you get into one of every 10 you apply to, and I feel like we had a good ratio of, applying and playing. Yeah, it was a really great experience. We premiered at Oak Cliff Film Festival in Dallas, Texas. Um, then we were at Out South in Durham, North Carolina, and a lot in LA. Um, yeah, I really loved the festival run. It was great to meet other filmmakers and see their work. Also, just fun to travel. I'd never been to Dallas. I'd never been to Durham. Durham is such a fun, cool city. I went to the JFK Museum in Dallas, and it just was a great experience. I'm itching to make another and be able to travel again and see more films.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah, and I mean, Film Freeway claims to have 14,000 festivals
I believe it.
worldwide on there. And I assume you also leaned on their top 100 best reviewed list a little. Is that how you found Sherman Oaks?
Yes. Also local. We were looking local. Um, we found Sherman Oaks through that, and then also Film Invasion. We didn't make the deadline for Film Invasion, um,
Yeah.
but so we
Yeah.
applied to Sherman
I
Oaks.
guess this is where I should not humble brag, just brag that our team runs two festivals, Film Invasion in Los Angeles in June and Sherman Oaks Film Festival in December. and both fingers crossed are that we're both are on the top 100 best reviewed list out of
Yeah,
14,000 in the world. So thankfully, because Lord knows I believe LA probably has two or three festivals per weekend all year.
so many.
So really, who knows? And my understanding from talking to filmmakers is 90% of them are illegitimate cash grabs.
Yeah,
And
we've had a few of those. Um,
well, I guess you can't avoid them, right? Because you really don't know until you get there.
you don't. And also, that's what the first run is all about, is learning the stuff. And it's not a bad experience. It's like, okay, whatever. You can still order a cocktail and make the most of it.
Yeah.
Um,
And my fun story is I do love our opening night gala with tends to have a good turnout. And I remember you emailing and saying, I'm too sick for the gala, but I'm gonna try to make the screening tomorrow.
yeah,
And I believe I thanked you as a germaphobe for not coming because I am a major germaphobe. As you can imagine, running a festival, if I'd gotten that flu everyone was getting, was gonna ruin my life.
that's what
But
I
uh
had.
but I love being at the gala and just saying to someone who I've just met that we don't have a single bad film in our festival. And about half the people just look at me like, oh, you are full of shit. And then I'm like, and I love that look because I say, I love your cynicism. I hope you attend as many as you can with that all access pass around your neck. And
Hmm.
then come talk to me and tell me what you thought. And
Yeah,
like they're always like, I didn't see a bad film. They're all good. I'm like, yeah, I know, because that's what we care about.
yeah. That's good that sometimes, you feel like it's lost on people. So it's nice that someone does care about programming and showcasing what
Well,
deserves to be
it's
showcased.
it's it's bad commercialism. It's not very good capitalism because, we'd rather show a great film that's played in LA several times already
Right.
than than well, actually we'd rather play a film from overseas than a local film that's sending us emails going, I got 80 people dying to come to a screening. And we're
Yeah.
like, we wish your film was good because we
Yeah.
would love to sell 80 tickets for your screening. But the truth is, you know, uh, when filmmakers attend and see their work in a block, and we don't have, we do 3 to 4 film blocks, not 9 to 12. But if when you see your film play with something that's not good, it just kind of spoils the experience, right? Because you're like, I was proud to get into this festival. Now I see you all don't really care.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, so this was a great experience for you, and you're already eager to make another film and get back on the circuit.
Yes, I'm shooting a new short in April of this year and another silly, goofy little romp. Much shorter than Outed. I love Outed. I'm proud of Outed. As we spoke about, there's narration. It relies on that narration and dialogue, and so I wanted to challenge myself to make something with less dialogue, more action forward. So we shoot in April.
Right. So you challenge us. So even though, so here I am fully acknowledging your skills, your writing skills with wordplay, with the ketamine and Xanax references and whatnot. But I mean, it's filled with just really funny lines. But yeah, you want to challenge yourself and not lean on your strength of wordplay and verbal
Mhm.
comedy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely more physical comedy this go around. Takes place in a movie theater. Uh, a rift between some audience members, and yeah, it's different but the same for sure.
That's fun. I mean, hopefully your work has life well beyond the festival circuit, as Outed is going to have on short frame. But wow, a film that takes place inside a theater, that's pretty kick-ass for the festival circuit.
Yeah, I think so. And it's, there's so much backstory in Outed. Um, backstory is always necessary in writing. Uh, but this is, a battle between two people in a movie theater. One of them is mad that the other one is being loud, and you don't need backstory. You already side with the person bothered by the loud person. So, it's immediately justified. It's immediately bought into. Um, I'm excited for it. I'm really excited to shoot it. Corey Jennings, our incredible DP on Outed, is shooting this as well. And we're shooting in a great theater that has like these red velvet seats, and it's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
That's funny because I was about to add, I was about to ask, like, it sounded like the Outed experience was so positive you can probably bring back a lot of crew and collaborators, and then you mentioned you're using the same DP, who obviously did a great job because the
Yeah,
film just
yeah,
looks
he's incredible.
fantastic.
Yeah, he's the best. He's done a lot of commercials and music videos, so this was his first narrative uh endeavor. And mine as well. I mean, I co-wrote an episode of Spiderwick, which I'm very proud of. And so I wanted to, this was my first directorial outing, and so he and I both felt like we had something to prove. So we just went all in, and it was great to have someone who matched the ambition that we all had.
And with the next film, you and your collaborators can prove that it wasn't a one time thing, that you can do it and push it further, right?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. And I normally at the end of one of these ask about social media and whatnot, but well, you have a TikTok you haven't activated much yet, but you are wonderfully off social media, which I
Yes.
praise because I quit it a year ago.
Yes, I am off social media. I'm on Letterboxd, but that's not very exciting for other
Yeah.
people.
Although if you want, we could throw that as a link in the show notes for people. Although the podcast after this one will be you answering the Discovering New Film 4 questions, which are kind of letterboxy in their own way. But
Yes, those I pretty much just pulled from my Letterboxd.
yeah, people who use Letterboxd and are good about it uh, have a much easier time with those questions, I think.
Yes. But my TikTok is Charlie Paulin 96, and I have yet to post. Well, I will probably have posted um, by now. But you can follow James Mansfield on TikTok, and Mr. Teddy Bear, and your friend Kevin, who plays opposite Mr. Teddy Bear. They all have good followings, and we'll post about the short.
Oh, excellent. Well, I will ask you to send me their links
Yes.
so that I can just throw those in the show notes and people can check them out. And but more importantly, check out it on short frame. So
Yeah.
excellent. All right. Well, I will wrap us up then. First, thank you, Charlie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It was really fun to get to know you because it's
Likewise.
like, yeah, we I believe people even referred to the bug going around in December as a super flu,
Yeah,
and
it
I
did
assume it hit you
feel
pretty
that way.
hard.
Yeah, I was home alone. My boyfriend was out.
It hit my house so hard that I actually, yeah, I was sleeping in another room and
Yeah,
just trying. I actually managed to not get it.
he did the same thing. We separated bedrooms, and he miraculously stayed okay, and I was down bad.
Yeah,
But
you can. Yeah, you
survived
just
it.
leaving. Like I would actually like hold my breath, go in the room, deliver food, and then walk out.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't even touch. I wasn't like allowed to touch the plates or silverware. I would. It was a Postmates kind of weekend.
There you go. There you go. Well, unfortunate timing for us, but that's one of the joys of this podcast is people who miss out on, or I get to follow up on after the festival with people, which is really a joy for me. 'Cause hey, why not? I get to have a little fun too. All right.
Yeah.
Well, so I will wrap us up by thanking everyone who's listening. If you want to learn more about this podcast where we talk to filmmakers on the festival circuit, just go to discoverindiefilm.com. On social media, it's at DIFwins on everything but X Twitter. I like I said, I've quit social media for a year now. I actually read some books. It's weird what you can do when you're not scrolling at pictures of huskies and bunny rabbits and other my social media was like a time suck of animals, honestly. Which is so anyway. My wonderful podcast producer Karina will If you write to us on @DIFWins on any social media, that's who will respond to you. Except Blue Sky. I check out Blue Sky now and then because it's very quiet, so it doesn't rob me of my time and mental acumen. And it doesn't have an algorithm yet that's chasing, trying to make me look at the wrong things. Anyway, so that's discoverindiefilm.com and @DIFWins. If you change that to discoverindiefilm.org, that is the nonprofit that runs both Sherman Oaks Film Festival, where we screened Charlie's film Outed. That's every December, and every June it puts on Film Invasion Los Angeles, so you can, if you go to discoverindiefilm.org, there's links to both of them and their social media, I believe. So I have to rattle off fewer websites if I do it that way. And I will mention that I always referred to those to Sherman Oaks Film Festival and Film Invasion LA as sister festivals, and in early 2026, their cousin was born in Lima, Peru. Film Invasion Lima.
Oh, amazing.
Took place, actually, based on when Charlie and I are recording this, it took place last weekend. And went fantastic, and so happy for the team down there. And they were actually Sherman Oaks Film Festival alumni who lived in Lima and said to me at a closing night mixer in 2024, "Oh, we wish we had a community of indie filmmakers like this down in Lima." And I told them just how many people in other cities had approached me about a film invasion, and none of them, they all wanted me to do the work. And I said, look, thankfully, the 2 festivals I run have grown to a size that I have no free time anymore.
Yeah.
So if you are willing to do the work, I will mentor and help and provide all the experience and help you get off the ground faster than if you were. And they thought about it and did it and pulled it off. And I got to say, it was fantastic. I'll make Charlie laugh with this. Amusingly, it went so well that some other organization went on their Instagram and tried to take credit for it and say that they hosted it. And then our Lima team said, this was us, and won the battle on, I don't know, it was very funny. But if your festival's good enough that someone else says, we put that on, you must have done something right. So
that's what you want.
Bravo to the team down in Lima. Now we've got Film Invasion, and by the way, the Lima, whatever, you can check them both out if you go to the Film Invasion website, filminvasionla.com. There we go. I mentioned one more. All right. Charlie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for listening. And remember, the next podcast after this one will be Charlie answering questions about favorite films and whatnot. So thank you, everybody.